Pete, we're not a caviar team. We don't have to be cute. We don't have to be fancy. Shoot, rebound, traffic, make it happen. Now, you want ugly lunch bucket? Hartnell runs over somebody.
He runs over somebody. Another big hit put on Todd Marchant by Cale Hulse.
And then suddenly, Scotty Walker shows you lunch bucket ugly. He puts one in. Pete, that's what the coaching staff has said all along, that we're trying to be maybe too fancy, trying to see the whites of their eyes before we shoot. Well, last night in Edmonton, the guys got the job done. They hit, they skated, they went for rebounds. You want the mo? Keep the mo going.
There are no East German judges in the National Hockey League. They aren't awarding style points for the way you approach your job. They're only ready to reward results. Hope you're ready for this one. Coming up from Calgary, it's Nashville Predators hockey.
This Predators game is brought to you by Bud Light, proud supporter of the NHL. By Bell South Mobility, where your minutes roll over. They're your minutes. Keep them. By Advance Auto Parts, the best part is our people. By Baptist Sports Medicine, the official healthcare provider of the Nashville Predators. By AmSouth Bank, the relationship people. By Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Is it in you? By Taco Bell. Stop by after the game to put your hunger on ice. By Gaylord Entertainment, proud partner of the Nashville Predators. And by Pepsi, the official choice of the Nashville Predators.
Wait. How would you have done playing in the Bubble Boys League?
Where is he? He's behind the net again. Go get him. We can't. We don't go back there. Look, his arms and legs are moving. He is smaller in person. Hey.
I think it'd have done pretty well.
What did he say? Let me at him.
Go ahead.
You're not going to stop me?
Favorite Tony Reno wrapping up the national anthems. The Southwest Airlines starting goaltenders for tonight's game. Going again for the Nashville Predators, it's Mike Dunham, 8-8-3 at 2.59 goals against and a saves percentage 91.5. At the other end of the ice with an undefeated string of 5 games, Fred Brathwaite, 5-6-5 at 2.42 goals against and a 90.5 saves percentage. Working tonight's game in the orange armbands, referees Rob Schick and Don Van Massenhoven, the linesmen Darren Gibbs and Troy Sardison. Pete Weber along with Terry Crisp from the Pengrowth Saddledome in Calgary. Glad to have you along with us here tonight. This is the building where the Predators won their first ever game on the road. Last time they got together here on Pearl Harbor Day, the Flames came up with the victory, a shutout that night. Getting underway with this one now as the Predators control the face-off, then tipped away by Clark Wilm, in for Jeff Cowan down the right wing side. Behind the Nashville net, Bill Holder tips it over for Patrick Kjellberg. Kjellberg for Tom Fitzgerald, fanned on it. Cowan throws it back on net, paddled directly away to Drake Berehowski, who tips it out to center ice. Back in the left circle to the right circle, and Berehowski down the boards at center ice, flipped in for Greg Johnson. Johnson on the right wing side throws one toward the net. That broken up as Gauthier kicked it away for the Calgary Flames. Back in the Nashville zone, the former Calgary Flame, Cale Hulse. Steaming around in front of him is David Legwand. Hulse have it tipped out on the left wing side by Tiemann, and Brathwaite out of his net trying to tie up the puck, and we have a stoppage with 54 seconds gone here in the opening period. And now the injuries and scratches for tonight's game, brought to you by the Baptist Sports Medicine Center. Not in for the Predators, Brant Myers, Cliff Ronning still out the hamstring strain, and Mark Eaton for Calgary. Oleg Safrikin, Jason Weimer, and Tony Leidman out, along with Brad Rorenka and Rob Petrovicki.
And head coach Barry Trotz, third year and a new Hall of Fame member of the Predator family.
As on the face-off, the Flames take over, carrying the puck up to center ice. It goes to Corey Stillman. Taken away from him, Legwand throws it in from just outside the blue line on the left wing. Brathwaite behind the net, turns it back over here for his defense. A long break out up the middle, but it goes on the stick of an ex-Flame, Cale Hulse. Chopped off the wall by Walker. It slides into the Calgary zone. Derek Morris with the clear to center on the stick of Stillman. He throws it in wide. Dunham leaves it for Tiemann. Tiemann over for Cale Hulse. We played a minute 34 seconds in this one. Legwand in across the line, trying to get around Phil Housley as the pass comes out in the left wing for Stillman at center. In down the left wing side as Iginla collides with Barahowski. The puck taken to the left wing boards and pass to Cesar, breaking through center. Cesar with a long shot in, stick to the corner. Archipov after it, put it behind the net for Cesar. Housley tried to tip it away. Comes around and is wrapped on the boards to the left wing, and the Flames managed to clear it out. Dave Lowry got a stick on it. Hartnell back to get it for the Predators, and tipped off the boards into the Calgary zone. Robin Regier has it. Regier enveloped behind the net, but got it over on the left wing, tipped out by Lowry. It got behind Barahowski, and Bill Holder back to take it. In front of the net is Bure for the Calgary Flames. Puck is tipped out just off the stick of Tkachuk, and back into the Calgary zone it goes. Denny Gauthier from the left wing side slides it in softly. Bill Holder tipped it off the boards for Barahowski, who pounds it off the wall for Dennis Boykov. Out at center ice it's taken now and drilled in by Fitzgerald. Taken behind the net, Tommy Albaline trying to leave it for Jeff Schatz. Schatz got it away from Fitzgerald, and they tip it back through center, where it's retrieved by Richard Lintner. Balasevic got it to the Calgary line, taken back away and tipped inside Calgary territory to Bill Lindsay. Go a little bouncer in toward Dunham, taken back away by Lintner. Ahead for Balasevic on the right wing. Balasevic drills one in high, gloved and dropped. Johnson going over after it, paddled over to the right side. A big hit put on there, and then the puck came right toward the Calgary net. Coming off the left wing boards to center ice. Turned back inside is Kravchuk. Kravchuk to Morris up on the right wing. Puck tipped back inside the Calgary line. Swept over for Kravchuk. Kravchuk on the left wing. Slides it ahead and carried by Clark Wilm into the zone. Clark Wilm tried to drop it back. It went behind his man, and it's taken out by the Predators, Randy Robitaille. Robitaille slides it behind the Calgary net. Predators getting a change. They've played almost 4 minutes here in the opening period. Kravchuk lofts it into the zone, dies in the corner like a kill shot, taken by Tiemann. Doesn't clear it out. This long shot missed it wide. Looking down at his stick after taking that shot is Tommy Albaline. Walker carries from center and lobs it down in the left corner. Yachmanev put it behind the net for Legwand. Caught up in his skates. He battles along with Corey Stillman. On the left wing, flipped back behind the Calgary net. Legwand was tripped up a bit. Tommy Albaline turns over onto the right wing and leaves it for Savard, who tipped it back to center. In the Nashville zone is Cale Hulse. Bill Holder looking up in the center circle, and it's flipped into the zone by Walker. Knocked down by Albaline. Albaline's pass on the right wing, tipped by Iginla. Savard, the shot, blockered away by Dunham. Stillman tries the follow. Iginla got a piece of it. Now it's Savard, the centerman himself, throwing it down to behind the net. Iginla spins left side. Iginla coming up to the half board. Leaves the puck in the corner. Savard with a centering pass was tipped away. Back to the blue line now. Robin Regier, shot right in front. Stillman a backhander, he scores! Corey Stillman got the rebound of Robin Regier's shot. shot from the left point, and the Flames are on the board 5-10 into the game.
Pete, one of those plays where it's just bang, bang, but Regier, that all smart defensemen do, come back to the point. He just simply put the puck through on net, and Stillman jumped all over the rebound, right back onto his stick. Nobody touching Stillman in front of our net, and he just picked up. The Regier will shoot the puck. Stillman will come across, picks it up, the rebound, and bingo. Dunham had no idea, first off, that Stillman was there, and secondly, that the puck had jumped right onto his stick off of somebody's rear end. So Stillman, the recipient of a bad bounce for the first goal.
So Robin Regier took the shot. Savard sent it back to the point man, and he will get the secondary assist on the play. Stillman from Regier and Savard at 5-10. Predators coming back through center. The pass to Alexander Boykov, tipped away. He got it back, got it just inside the line. But the Flames get possession of it. Phil Housley lobs one into the corner, left side of Dunham. Skrastins out of that corner, twists it behind the net. Richard Lintner on the right board. The bounce just a little bit too far for Rob Balasevic. Housley turning back in the Calgary zone. Now Housley from center, long shoot in, gloved and dropped by Dunham for Skrastins. Flames in front 1-0 here in the first period. Richard Lintner tips it out for Kjellberg. Kjellberg's pass a little bit far for Lintner. Chopped inside the zone on the right wing side. Johnson working the boards on the half wall. Johnson hounded as he threw it back down low. For Kjellberg, trying to throw it right in front, and Johnson got upended heading toward the net. Now the Flames coming back with it. Carrying up to the line and in across. As the puck rolled off Kravchuk's stick, gets it back, threw it in front. Tipped away by Dunham, directed out to Johnson. Greg Johnson down the left wing at center. Sends Bill Holder in right side. Holder holding on just a moment and trying to catch Kjellberg sneaking down the left wing. Robitaille, backhand pass to Johnson. Johnson all alone, slides it in, he scores! Greg Johnson had Brathwaite. He was holding on, and Brathwaite finally committed, and Johnson slid it by him to tie it up at 1, 6:47 into the period.
And what a move by Greg Johnson, Pete, on a perfect pass from Robitaille. Greg Johnson was standing all alone to the right of the net. Nobody picked him up. Randy Robitaille saw him. Perfect pass. Greg Johnson had enough time to look, wait, watch, move left to right, bring Brathwaite out, and then go to his backhand, forehand, and slide it right in the short corner. But you talk about beaucoup patience by Johnson to wait till Brathwaite made his move first.
I don't know where you can get that sort of patience, but he had it, and gets his 7th goal of the season as a result. Predators out shooting the Flames now 4-3. The puck is held in by Albaline, thrown down low for Hay. Skrastins tries to wind it around, cut off by Cowan, tipped away. Up it comes on the right wing to Walker. He was held by Clark Wilm. Wilm trying to force his way down low. Skrastins goes the other direction. Albaline keeps it in right point. He slides it behind the net. Wilm can't get to it. Richard Lintner does, and he slides it out to center. Interrupted there, tipped in for Stillman coming in on the change, but the Predators hold him out. Skrastins behind the Nashville net. 1-1 the score. 12:23 remaining in the opening period. Skrastins on the left wing, tipped toward Legwand. It's Walker who has it from in front of the Predators bench. Flipped it in, and it goes down behind Phil Housley, and Iginla helps him out. Now carrying the puck out to the line, over for Iginla. Now Savard coming in with Stillman. Across for Stillman, the pass too far in front of him. Backhanded off the boards by Cale Hulse. Iginla wraps it up. Tipped now by Stillman, back toward the point. Chipped there. Down low on the half wall. Now Stillman gives it off to Savard. He tried to catch the late man breaking through, but his pass tipped away. Headman pass now goes to Johnson, cross ice off the skate boot of Balasevic. Tipped off the boards to Iginla, coming in and dropping it off. Stillman now for Savard, pinballed away from him. Savard gets it back with a shot right on. Gloved by Dunham, sliding out to his left. 8:29 gone here in the opening period. It's 1-1. Fasten your seatbelts for more Nashville Predators hockey. Tuesday, January 16th. It's the Predators and the Edmonton Oilers in the Gaylord Entertainment Center.
Fang fever. Catch it.
New head coach Don Hay, his second tour of duty with the Calgary Flames. He was an assistant coach for a while, moved on and came on back in his first year. And talking to the hockey people here in the Saddledome, the team is now starting to buy in to the new coach's system, and that's the toughest thing, Pete, for a new coach, to get the players to believe and buy into your system.
Shot right off the draw is handled Mike Dunham right after the face-off to his left side. Derek Morris, who was not in the lineup when the Predators came here last month, he had just been signed, a Group 2 free agent, and took a while to come to terms with the Calgary Flames.
This is his 12th game back with the Flames, but the Flames are glad to have him in the fold, Pete. This is one of the young, up-and-coming defensemen in the NHL, and believe me, he is a young, tough defenseman.
Back it comes to Morris again. His shot goes wide to the short side. Taken off the right board by Cesar to center ice, tipped away from Arkhipov. Back into the Calgary zone. Igor Kravchuk comes across the Calgary line. Jabbed away from him by Cesar. Morris banks it off the wall for Lowry. Lowry lost it, but it comes free to center ice and tipped by Bure toward the Nashville line and then drilled in by Kravchuk. Around it comes to the right side. Morris put one on. Tipped wide by Bure. Bure quickly tied up behind the net by Berahowski. Now the puck is lying there and taken by Arkhipov. Can't clear. Morris from the blue line. Kicked away right side by Dunham. Carrying the puck now, Cesar trying to hit Hartnell breaking in, and a two-line pass will stop the clock with 9:17 gone in the opening period. Barry Trotz, well, we had the chance to talk with him earlier about the importance of his team getting off to a quick start again.
Well, I think with Calgary's last game, a fast start for us, there's probably nothing more important than us. It's just coming out real hard and being ready to compete and play. And if we're able to get the first goal, that'll be very helpful. If not, let's keep it the longer the game is tied or we're ahead. I think the worst will be off with Calgary.
So Barry Trotz, I'm sure happier as the Predators answered the rebound goal by Corey Stillman with one by Greg Johnson as things are even up here in the first period. Richard Lintner, right side his pass, tipped inside the line. Robitaille trying to hold it against Lindsay, then thrown around the boards by Valasevic. Alexander Boykov collides with Housley behind the net. Valasevic trying to center, goes back off the Flames goal cage. Backhand pass slipped out to center. Jeff Shantz trying to turn over for Ginla and offside on Calgary with 9:46 elapsed in the opening period. Predators have one more game on this trip, then they'll be back home starting on Tuesday night, the 16th, a 7 o'clock start Central Time with the Edmonton Oilers in town. Then home again on Friday the 19th against the Boston Bruins at 7. Predators University at 5:30, and Lowe's presenting NASCAR night and Predators Car Flag night for that one for the first 10,000 fans. And Sunday, January 21st at 4, it's the St. Louis Blues and Taco Bell presenting Predators Youth Hat Day, the first 4,000 children under 12. For ticket information, Terry.
615-770 puck.
Puck comes out across the line. Cowan kicks it to his stick ahead for Hay. Just nudges it in the zone, then taken out by Timonen. That allows Richard Lintner to turn it back up ice for Nashville. On the left wing to Yachman, back to Walker, but offside on the right wing side. David Legwan. 10 minutes, 10 seconds off the scoreboard clock. We're in the opening period at the Pengrowth Saddledome in Calgary. This is Nashville Predators hockey. The Bell South scoring program contributes $100 to the Predators Foundation every time the Predators score a goal. With the goal by Greg Johnson, the contribution to this point of the season now reaches $10,000. Pete Weber, Terry Chris from the Pengrowth Saddledome in Calgary. Predators win the draw, make an immediate change as they throw the puck behind the Calgary net. Greg Johnson for the Predators. Corey Stillman for the Calgary Flames. Puck is chipped up over Marian Cesar to Hay. Hay throws it in low. Berahowski turns to his left. The puck is stick checked by Hay. spun around on the half board on the Calgary right wing side. Berehowski pries it free behind the net to Bill Holder. Holder up in the right wing, tipped out by Cesar. Onto the stick of Hartnell. Hartnell bypasses one, throws it wide of Archipov. Archipov on the boards, try to play it back to the point. Intercepted by Jeff Cowan, and he slides it softly into the Predator zone. We played 11 minutes here in the opening period. Bill Holder fades behind the Nashville net. The Savard line out, trying to bottle up the Predators before this breakout. Taken in front of the net by Bill Holder to the right wing side and Berehowski. Berehowski off the body of Tom Fitzgerald. Down behind the Calgary net it goes. Paddled around toward a Ginla. He collides there with Greg Johnson. Fitzgerald goes after him. Shellberg has the puck. Tried to put it down low. Derek Morris backhands it for Kravchuk. Left wing side defensively for the Calgary Flames. They slide it in, tipped on net. Dunham paddles away for Timonen. Timonen off the right board through center, knocked down by Kravchuk. Back in the Calgary zone. Derek Morris up on the left wing for Savard, quickly reverses it, but the Predators take over. Kimmo Timonen. Timonen skates behind the Nashville goal. Comes out in front of Mike Dunham. Gives it to Cale Hulse. Left wing side at center. Handled in center circle by Legwand. Given behind Tom Fitzgerald. His shot deflected away wide by Kravchuk. Taken off the right side wall by Mark Savard. Backhands it towards Stillman. And a two-line pass will stop the clock with 12:07 gone. We spoke with the Predators rookie Scott Hartnell and asked him about how he's feeling playing coming back.
I don't know. You know, we don't have a lot of NHL experience, and we just went out there and played like, you know, like you play when you're kids, and we did a lot of good things, and you know, we made a few mistakes just because of our inexperience, but it was a pretty good line for us.
Playing very well with center Dennis Archipov and right wing Marian Cesar. 7:53 remaining in the opening period. It's 1-1. Face-off Calgary zone. Over on the left wing side, reaching for it, Denny Gauthier. He couldn't get around Scott Walker, then does tip it out. Now Walker feeds it in. Taken by Legwand, deflected off his stick, and Tkachuk is going to be called for a tripping penalty here as Legwand was breaking in with possession of the puck.
Then David Legwand, doing what Coach Trotz wants, kept the feet moving, driving towards the front of the net, causing a penalty and giving the Predators a chance to go on their power play. So Tkachuk will sit out for 2 minutes. Just recently brought up from the minors, Tkachuk was. And David Legwand was sort of hog-tied, thrown down from behind. But the good part was David had grabbed the puck and was heading towards the net with it, Pete. And that's what Coach Trotz wants from the youngster. A little more, grab the puck, be creative, make things happen.
12:22. As Chuck goes into the penalty box, Predators go on the power play. Randy Robitaille working the puck right side, back for Berehowski. His pass behind the net, tipped away from Shellberg, swept back now to Shellberg by Robitaille to the right point. Shot by Berehowski, missed it wide to the short side. Tipped, now comes behind the net again. Shellberg trying to get around the referee. The right side, taken on the half board. It's Randy Robitaille. Robitaille. His pass bouncing away from Shellberg, tipped by Walker. Shots can't clear. Berehowski shot right on. The rebound is stopped once and then twice. First Shellberg, then Scott Walker. Two good chances right in front, Terry.
And Peter Berehowski broke his stick on the initial shot, got it through on net, but he was set up perfectly on it. Berehowski, the puck will come to him. He will put it right through, but his stick breaks on the shot. The rebound comes right back out to Shellberg, and he drills it, but Brathwaite is right there. But a good play, first by Berehowski, getting it through, but his stick snapped on him, and then the puck came right back to Shelley, and he couldn't get it anywhere but where Brathwaite was. But good scoring chance by Shellberg on the power play off a shot by Berehowski from the point. And I was just going to say, Berehowski's got to start to get his shot through on net. That time he did.
Even though he broke his stick to do it.
Yes.
They work the corner boards 2-on-2. Continue to flail away at it. Taken behind the net by Regier. All over him is Shellberg. And they fling the puck through center back in the Nashville zone. Just under a minute remaining in the penalty. Predators on the power play for the first time for either side tonight. Berehowski leaves it for Walker to carry ahead into the zone on the right wing. Walker tried to tip it back. but it's freed up and cleared back out into the Nashville zone. 6:17 to go in the period, 39 seconds in the power play. As the puck is taken in by Yakinev over for Cesar. Off to Berehowski, his shot that blocked in front. The rebound, they try to play it away, and finally they do. Clear it past Berehowski back into the Nashville zone. 20 seconds remaining in the power play. Predators and the Calgary Flames tied at 1. We're in the Pengrowth Saddledome in Calgary, Alberta. Puck passed over on the left wing. Holding it down the boards toward Lintner by Cesar. Legwan reaching in for it. He drew the penalty to begin with. It comes back to Cesar. Cesar turns inside away from Jeff Shantz. Behind the net it goes, and the Flames back at full strength. Play continues, and the shot goes wide by Cesar. Tkachuk out of the penalty box for the Flames, finishing serving his tripping call. Now through center ice comes Valeri Bure across the line. The shot. Dunham makes the save. Rebound Skrastich to the corner. Bure on it again. Threw it in front for Savard, who couldn't hold the pass. Mark Savard gives it behind the net for Bure, who's darting all over. Now it's Archipov. His pass is tipped out by Cesar to center ice. Thrown back to Bure. Tips it in with the backhand ahead of Savard. It's Lintner, drills it on the boards. Regier held it to Bure, tipped low by Savard. Lintner trying to go down the boards with it again and lifted it over Regier, and it tipped back inside the Calgary line. Bill Housley behind the net. A long lead on the left wing to center ice for Savard. Savard, a backhand pass through an open wing. It's Skrastich behind the net to Hartnell, taken away by Savard. Throw it in front for Cowan, and the puck bounced away from him. Kravchuk behind the net. Cowan checked there by Cahill-Holst, got it away to the side of the net, and then broken up and carried out by Skrastich to Tom Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald will throw it in from outside the line. The Predators get a line change. Kravchuk goes up the left wing with the puck to Lindsay. Lindsay throws it in down the left wing, goes after himself with Cahill-Holst. Cowan skates by as well and can't reach the puck. Lindsay, a backhand pass, intercepted and started back out by Randy Robitaille. Robitaille throws it in down the right corner, took a strange bounce out of that corner. Kravchuk took a hit and passed the puck away. Carrying up to center ice, Derek Morris tipped it over for Clark Wilm. He throws it down the corner, left side of Dunham. Berehowski takes a hit there from Jeff Shantz. With Lindsay coming in after the puck now. Shantz with Shellberg on him over the left shoulder of Mike Dunham. 3:35 remaining in the period, tied at 1. Flames trying to press the attack and get possession as Shantz tipped the puck into Lindsay. Fans wanted a penalty call there on the Predators, but they managed to clear it back to the Calgary line. Gauthier puts it up over the glass into the fourth row with 3:20 remaining in the period. It's the Calgary Flames and the Nashville Predators tied at 1. Stay tuned for more Nashville Predators hockey.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming. And in closing, I'd just like to say that I'm going to give this job everything I've got.
What?
Thank you.
It is over? No questions for us?
Well, he's a star. Hey, watch your mouth.
Hey, Wayne. You and your wife want to go to a party?
Sure, can my friends come with us?
Ooh la la.
Absolutely.
Hello, baby.
Hey, girls.
I told you, he is the great one.
That's not what you said.
All hail Wayne.
Oh, boy.
Fang fever is spreading in Tennessee, and we're ready at the Tennessee Sports Fan. The Tennessee Sports Fan has more Predator stuff than anybody. We got hats, shirts, jerseys, flags, and license plates. When it comes to the Predators, you name it, we've got it at the Tennessee Sports Fan. Don't miss out this season. Show you're a Predator too. At the Tennessee Sports Fan, whatever Tennessee team you follow, we've got your gear. Come in and check us out. 2nd Avenue, Rivergate, Hickory Hollow, Opry Mills, and Nella Cool Springs.
Pete Weber, Terry Crisp. We're in Terrystown, Calgary, Alberta, where the Predators and the Flames are tied at 1. You got a lot of free lunches today, didn't you, Terry?
Petey, when I come back here, now you got to understand, my oldest son lives here. Think about it. Who has to buy lunch?
Oh, gee.
Dad has to buy lunch.
Who let the money out for the lunch?
No kidding.
Face-off outside the Calgary line. Kravchuk over for Morris. Drop back for Kravchuk as he comes to center ice. Kravchuk on the right side. Flipped it in off the boards. It rolls behind the Predator net. There, it's drilled around the wall, onto the right wing side, trapped down by Bure. Now working the corner. Lindsay. And we're going to have a penalty call being made here with 2:58 to go in the period, and holding it is. Holding the penalty call, and now the Calgary Flames will go on the power play as Cale Hulse goes to the box. Well, they're going to call him boarding rather than holding, all right?
Cale Hulse doing some good corner work on number 10, Dave Lowry, but unfortunately for Cale, just a little too tough on the hit from behind. Lowry is coming in. Hulser comes in and just sort of bangs him up against the boards, and the referee deemed it too hard, a little too far from the boards, called it boarding or charging, whichever. And Cale Hulse will sit for 2 as the Calgary Flames go on the power play.
Flames start out with Savard in the middle, flip-flopping their wingers. Iginla now on the left, Stillman on the right. Kravchuk and Morris are the point men. Predators starting out by clearing the puck. They have Johnson and Fitzgerald as penalty-killing forwards. 1-1 to score. 2:45 remaining. We're in the first period at Calgary. Derek Morris behind his goaltender, Fred Brathwaite. Carrying the puck out across the Calgary line. Angles to his right. Drills it in that corner. Waiting for it left side, Savard. Savard anticipated well. Tried to get to Stillman, but broken up by Barahowski. Can't clear it. Kravchuk held it in. Good play at the point. Off for Stillman. Try to get it down low for Iginla. The pass goes behind him. Back to Stillman. Out to the right point. Straight away, Morris faking and losing the puck in the process. Tipped away from Greg Johnson. Morris passes it back for Stillman. Stillman enters. Savard giving off to Iginla, cutting in the shot stop. The rebound. Dunham stops that, and then does the snow angel in the blue ice. Great chance there for Iginla, charging in, Terry, from his favorite position on the power play through the left side.
And what great strength by Iginla. I got to give him full mark. He'll come down the side. He just bulls his way into the side. Mike Dunham makes 2 good saves on him. On the initial thrust, he stays right with him coming down off the left side. Iginla picks up his own rebound, goes to his backhand and tries to stuff it in, and Mike Dunham does the splits. So 2 saves by Mike Dunham on Jerome Iginla, coming down off that left side with nothing but power and speed coming at Mike Dunham, but he never budged an inch.
New power play unit out for the Flames as they try to get the rebound of the Albaline shot. Hold it on the right side. Behind the net, Lowry. Kachuk out to the blue line, and his pass tipped out by Yachmanev. So the Predators get a break there on the bounce. 45 seconds remaining on the penalty. Up on the left wing side, Housley banks it in. Tipped by Bill Holder. That was broken back at him by Bure. And behind the net now, Walker hit on Lowry. Scratchins trying to work free of Kachuk, and he does clear the puck.
The guy's doing a good job right now of making sure that the Flames don't get loose on the wide entry, because the Flames are really coming in wide with their speed, using it to good advantage.
Housley put it behind the Nashville net with 15 seconds to go on this power play. Bure reaching in. Kachuk tried to center. Caught up in some skates, and over on the right side going down low as Housley tipping it back to Bure, who's now on the right point. Dwayne Hay to the end boards. The Predators back at full strength. Hulse comes out of the penalty box. The puck, they battle for it over to the left side of Mike Dunham, and will do that with 52.7 seconds remaining. Predators will be hosting the Boston Bruins Friday night, January 19th on NASCAR night. First 10,000 fans at the game receive a Predators car flag courtesy of Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. To be part of the action, call 615-770-PUCK, or do like Crispy oftentimes does, sitting at the console working that computer.
Go to www.NashvillePredators.com.
You play that computer like a concerto. Predators tied with the Calgary Flames at 1 after falling behind 1-0. Off the face-off, Morris a shot that broken up in front. Patrick Kjellberg skates away with it. His pass tipped at the line, however, and held in, but then played back out by Cale Hulse. Dumped in from center. Dunham out of his net. Paddles it over now for Kimmo Timonen. Timonen's pass onto the left board, and then taken out Kjellberg toward Legwand. Legwand gave it to an open wing as the Flames tip it back out. Clark Wilm thrown in now left wing side for Legwand. Legwand for Cesar. Cesar, a backhander, hit the back side of the Calgary net. Legwand left corner. Cesar in that corner, turning on Morris, who then pins him. Shellberg comes over to help out. Pulled away by Cesar. Cesar to the half-court left side. 8 seconds to go in the period. Puck put up on the glass and cleared into the Predator zone. Cale Hulse has it. 2 seconds to go in the period. Gets it out across the line, and that will do it for 1 period of action. The Calgary Flames broke out in front. The Predators came back to equalize it on a goal by Greg Johnson. It's 1-1 at the end of one from Calgary. This is Nashville Predators hockey. Saddledome in our first intermission heading to the second period. Just spoke with Predators assistant Brent Peterson and asked him, Coach, were you happy with the energy level of the first period?
No, I wasn't happy at all with the energy level, and we sort of let the players know right away. It was sort of we were lucky that Calgary sort of were feeling us out. We were feeling them out. We didn't really, nobody generated anything. It was sort of played between in the neutral zone. And we just got to get back to, we tried to emphasize how well we played in the third. We went after people. We were aggressive, and good things happened. Instead, we made turnovers right at our blue line, and they're a great transition team, and it showed on the goal. We had the puck. We turned it over. They come back. We lost our man on the coverage, and Stillman's line, they're a great line. They're going to score goals, so we have to do a better job. And like you say, it all comes from our energy level. So we have to pick it up, and we've talked about it between periods here.
The Southwest Airlines first period stats, the goals are even, and the big advantage for either side comes in the hits department, Terry.
I feel that's surprising because I felt that both teams were rather tentative out there. The amount of hits, 18 for Calgary, 10 for Nashville, but maybe along the boards behind the net there might have been some crunching and banging going on in the close quarters.
Clark Wilm faces off with Greg Johnson. Flames control. Kenny Gauthier goes to his left side and feeds into the Nashville zone. Bill Holder behind the Predator net, and Mike Dunham starting his second straight game here in Alberta. Out to center, bounced away. Allen has to hold up, threw the puck away, trying to worry about remaining onside. Now Hay flipped it around. Berahowski. Shellberg lost it. Cowan goes skating in. Polk checked away by Bill Holder, who kicks it over to his left. Out to center ice. Left for Johnson by Shellberg. Up to Shellberg. Comes in on the right wing side on Gauthier. Shellberg right circle. Trying to throw it across wide now for Johnson. A shot. That's stopped by Brathwaite, and he'll very quickly cover it up. 43 seconds off the clock here in the second period. Defensive dynamos Chris Pronger and Al McInnes, along with the rest of the St. Louis Blues. They're back in Nashville, a Sunday afternoon encounter, January 21st at 4. First 4,000 kids 12 and under will receive a Predators hat courtesy of Taco Bell. For tickets and game information,
you call 615, and I'm going to take a guess, 770 puck, but it's a pretty good educated guess I'm giving you for those good-looking hats.
Off the face-off, Calgary zone, comes back to Kimmo Timonen. His shot with Yachmanev right in front, handled by Brathwaite. So the Predators trying to get back to that ugly lunch bucket, Terry.
And Freddie Brathwaite, the goaltender for the Flames, doing what Mike Dunham did last night, through traffic, making a good save, and the shot from the point, through traffic, on net, Yachmanev right in his doorstep, he elects to take the face-off.
Kravchuk off the face-off, lost it, backhand try, broke it up by Morris and fed through center. Cale Hulse from the Nashville line. Down the right wing, tipped by Walker, but a two-line pass came from inside the blue line, across the center red line, and whistled down with 59 seconds gone.
And Pete, the one area we've talked about so much is that all you want is that wrist shot through from the point on net, and that's what happened. We win the face-off, comes back to the point, and Timonen just says, okay, a little wrist shot through. Yachmanev going to the net, sniffing around for rebounds. That's what we call ugly lunch bucket hockey. Get it back, get it on, muck it around, make it happen. But get the puck where somebody in front of that net can do some damage with it.
Face off from just inside the line, comes back out across. Dunham stops the shot, leaves it for Kimmo Timonen. Timonen right side his pass, thrown back on the left wing for Legwand. In for Yachmanev on the right wing, dropped it back. Walker, his shot, tipped wide by Legwand. Rebound, Flames get it under control. Kachuk to center ice, right side for Bure. Bure throws it in softly toward the corner. Kachuk tried to tip it behind the net there, laid away from Dave Lowry. On the right wing board, it's Legwand for the Predators. His backhand pass tipped, but Yachmanev got it to Walker. Walker across the line, down below the hash mark on the the right wing. Put it behind the net. Derek Morris, leg one all over him. Kravchuk sends it back around spinning. Walker stops it. Walker right corner behind the net. Got it just away from leg one. Bure tried to clear. Thrown down low for Walker. Trying to get to Yachmanev. Broken up by Morris. Not across the line it goes. We played 2 minutes now in the second period. A 1-1 score. Greg Johnson has the Predators' goal and has the puck right now. Johnson circles away from Mark Savard. Leaves it back for Kimmo Timonen. Flips the pass over on the right wing side and tipped out through center. Stopped and tipped out by Robin Regeer. Johnson for Yachmanev. Yachmanev backhands it just inside. Taken back ahead now, and a nice lead pass for Stillman by Savard. Stillman tried to center and was tipped away from McGinley, who goes after it on the left board. Now it's tipped off the glass by Valasevic. Back in the Calgary zone. Phil Housley back to touch it. Icing is the call on Nashville with 2:35 gone in period number 2.
And Peter, listen to Coach Brent Peterson talk on that one. He's saying the same things that Coach Trotz said before the game. He says, we can't be too tentative. Remember Coach Gardner said in the game last night in Edmonton, they were tentative, they sat back, they waited. He said, that's not what they want. Trotz says, we want to become aggressive. We want to go after them. Coach Peterson said the same thing. They want more energy. They want more high tempo. They want us setting the pace. So the coaching staff saying, yeah, we'll take some wins, but we want to be aggressive. Better tempo.
Robin Regeer, a shot stopped by Dunham. Nobody in front to bother him, allowing him to cover it up.
And Pete, it's almost like Calgary watched the last face-off down on their end, said, all right, you did it, we can do it. They win the face-off, back to Regeer, and Regeer, the same as Timonen did. He makes sure that he gets that puck through on net. And Pete, that just shows you the importance of winning the face-off. We won it, we got a scoring chance. Calgary wins it that time, they get the scoring chance, and Dunham was mimicking Brathwaite. He's out at the top of the crease taking away that traffic shot.
Stillman tipped the puck, but Berehowski feeds it out through the right wing. Robin Regeer to Phil Housley. Housley off the boards. Shallow angle back to the Nashville end. Tipped by Berehowski for the icing call on Calgary.
Peter Brathwaite, the goaltender for the Calgary Flames tonight. Sort of an interesting story. I like this young guy, this little guy, because he's sort of, you know what, he pictures or he mirrors Thomas Vokoun.
Yeah.
Trying to get his foot in the drawer, trying to become the #1 goaltender. Mike Vernon was playing so well for a while. Mike Vernon gets a concussion. Somebody run over top of him, bingo, knocks him down. Mikey's out. In comes Brathwaite. He goes 3-0-2 in his last 5 games with 2 shutouts. So it's sort of paralleling Thomas Vokoun. They get a chance, they come in, they do the job for their hockey club.
Off the face-off to the right of Fred Brathwaite, it's Arkhipov against Jeff Shantz. Bure jumped into the circle before the puck could be dropped by the linesman. Aaron Gibbs sets them up again. Drops the puck. Flames take it back to the corner. Kravchuk winds it around on the left wing, where it's taken down by Bill Lindsay. Flipped inside on the right wing for Shantz. Shantz overskates it. Arkhipov falls down trying to check him. Shantz skitters on the right side, pulled away by Hartnell. Hartnell skates to center ice. The Predators coming back on the attack. Hartnell tips it in low. Cesar right corner. Cesar with Shantz on him. Arkhipov comes over. It's tipped away and taken by Derek Morris. He clears it through center. This will be an icing call on Calgary again, and it's touched up by Littner with 3:33 gone. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Grand Ole Opry, celebrating 75 years. For this weekend's Opry lineup, it's time to think about that. Log on to Opry.com or call 615-889-3060.
And Pete, one of the assistant coaches on the Calgary Flames staff is Brad McCrimmon, a defenseman, a lot of years in the NHL, a tough one. And the Stanley Cup champions in 88-89, guess what? Brad McCrimmon was a defenseman on that team when I coached it. And I'll tell you, Pete, I don't think they come any tougher than that young man right there. He was mean to play against.
That he was. And I don't think he won the fastest skater of the skills competition for the team either, did he? As the puck is tipped over to the boards to the left side of Brathwaite. Held on, holding now, giving it down low. The shot, Brathwaite. A little trouble with the shot by Valasevic breaking in. Alexander Boykov comes over to help Valasevic. Now it's Robitaille on the right board at the half wall. Tried to throw it across in front. Deflects out left point to Timonen. Timonen dumped it back to the corner. Now Robitaille in front. Chipped by Boykov. Stopped by Brathwaite. And Boykov continues flailing away at the puck, but Clark Wilm was in front. Down on both knees, helping out his goaltender, Fred Brathwaite, to the left of the Calgary crease.
And there you go, Petey. You want ugly, you want traffic, you want banging away. That time you got it from the Predators. Getting the puck down low, keeping it in deep, making it happen. The puck on net, suddenly it all comes back to the front of net where everything happens. Bodies are going. Boykov on his knees trying to bang it home. He's being pushed around. Valasevic was jousting in front of the net with Phil Housley, and everybody trying to get on the act, except that Freddie Brathwaite, the same as Mike Dunham, very good through traffic, picks up that puck and freezes it.
Mark Savard from the left wing lofted it for Iginla, who couldn't handle it cleanly. Yachmanev throws it down into the corner diagonally. Walker and Kravchuk taken by Legwand. Legwand top of the right circle in front. It just goes wide and behind Yachmanev. Rebound comes out to center ice. Iginla takes it. Iginla in across the Nashville line, but offside, as Iginla got in there after his teammate, Mark Savard, had gotten across the line. 4:31 gone in the second period, and Mike Dunham has been very active in this game and productive as well.
And Mike Dunham probably just carried over from last night's game in Edmonton, where he saw nothing but traffic, bodies, pucks coming at him. And Coach Trotz said he wants his team to just continue from the third period in Edmonton. Well, Mike Dunham has done his part in this first and part of the second period here. He's picked it up through traffic and made some key saves at key times.
So you're telling me Dunham has done it?
Dunham has done it, or is doing it.
All right. As the pass was picked off. Now Savard coming on. Right in front for Stillman, and Dunham was throwing to make the save again. They try to center. Comes away to Fitzgerald. Tom Fitzgerald carrying right wing side. In across the line. Fitzgerald cranking one up. Deflected way up into the suites. Up over the glass. And stopping the clock with 4:56 gone. Always stay alert, folks, in that lower bowl.
And Captain Tom Fitzgerald tried to find himself some room along the right-hand boards. He was squeezed off, tried the shot up over, but last night in Edmonton, Captain Tom put the icing on the cake. He and Valasevic joined Pete for an empty net goal in Edmonton, which sort of brought a sigh of relief. Even though it was 4-2 and it made it 5-2, it still brings a little sigh of relief, eh, Petey?
Especially when you're in Edmonton, where they are so capable of the quick attack.
Oh, you got it. I've been in that building a few times, Pete, when you thought you had the victory in your hands, only to come home empty-handed.
Off the face-off, Calgary zone. Scott Walker to the right corner. Turns around, trying to use a pick from Legwand. Legwand couldn't handle the pass, and it's tipped out through an open point. Back into the Nashville zone. 1-1 the score. Phil Holder from the left board. Tipped it out, just wide of Yachmanev. Morris over for Kravchuk. Kravchuk ahead of his line. A backhand pass comes over to Walker. Now he sends Legwand in. Legwand right wing side. His shot blocked by Morris. Kravchuk tips it. The Predators try to hold it in. It comes out now for Tkachuk. Tkachuk and Bure coming in. Tkachuk the shot. Dunham the stop. And Dunham finally able to try to pull the clock in as Bure was ready for a rebound.
You talk about on the rush, on the traffic, and just flying through on that one. Daniel Tkachuk just called up from the minors as the puck. He's shooting, but Bure is heading right to the net, and he has got speed to burn. Tkachuk just thundered one on Dunham, and Dunham come out, made the save. The puck bounced just a smidge away from him, and Bure was just flying through on his doorstep. And Mike Dunham got a little help from the back checkers on that one, but he very quickly corralled the puck, pulled it in. But now that's a rush. On the rush, on the net, and speed coming to it between Tkachuk and Bure.
Flames with their fourth forward unit out now for the face-off to Dunham's right. Predators get the draw. Timonen behind his net. 1-1 the score. 5:40 off the clock in the second period at the Pengrowth Saddledome in Calgary. Fitzgerald left wing side at center. The puck rolled away from him. Back out across the line. Reaching after trying to poke it in the zone and successfully doing so, Bill Lindsay. Cale Hulse now behind the Predator net. Kept it away from Lindsay on the left wing side for Timonen. Timonen's pass to Captain Tom Fitzgerald. Crosses the center red line. Took a huge hit from Wade Belak, who's playing up front, but got it down low in the Calgary zone. Marian Cesar behind the net. He falls down. Shots with him. Arkhipov centered, but intercepted by Housley. Housley starts it back out across the line. Flipped into the zone by Lindsay. Retrieved now as the Flames make a change. Quick pass up on the left wing for Timonen. Backhands it deeply into the Calgary zone. Brathwaite paddles it over to his left. Stopped up on the shelf. Nice hit by Boykov in the corner. Arkhipov threw right in front of Boykov. Shot went wide across in front of the goal mouth. The puck back behind the Calgary net again. Kravchuk to the left corner. Leaves it behind the net for Derek Morris. Right wing pass too far for Iginla. Stopped at center. Strastinch. Thrown in now for Valasevic. Bounced off his stick. Taken away by Jerome Iginla. Iginla in across the Nashville line. Down below the hash mark. Into the corner. Strastinch checks him there. The puck taken away from Stillman. Savard put it right in front. Broken up by Strastinch. Out to the line and across. Strastinch now carries down the right wing. Into the Calgary zone. Left side. Robitaille the shot. And Brathwaite stops that. And decides he better cover up. With 7:15 gone. We're in the second period. Nashville Predators and Calgary Flames still tied at 1. Stay tuned for more Nashville Predators hockey. Larry Bure, last time these two teams met here last month at the Pengrowth Saddledome, he was scratched from the lineup, and the Flames began to turn things around that night. So he had to earn his way back in, Terry.
And Peter, at that given time, there was a lot of rumors at the trade mill that he might be joining his brother, Pavel Bure, down in Florida, but not to be. The Flames are smart enough to hang on to this young man. I got to tell you, you got a talent like that, I wouldn't be sending him away either. I'd be keeping him on my roster, figuring out some way to make him productive.
Off the face-off Calgary zone, pulled away by Gauthier, skates behind his net. On the left wing, the pass for Hay, battled his way, pass the defense, and put it behind the Nashville net. Clark Wilm almost tipped it away from Dunham, as Dunham was lackadaisical behind his net, not realizing he was going to be pressured. Drop back right side, Lintner's shot deflected off the skates of Johnson. Johnson end boards, lost it to Gauthier. Cross ice on the right wing for Hay. Hay carries in the shot. Dunham makes the save. He holds on with 7:45 gone in the period. Well, the number one line reunited for the Calgary Flames tonight. Corey Stillman already cashed in with his 16th of the year. Mark Savard comes back from one of the many Calgary Flames concussions this season. And Jerome Iginla on the right side.
Quite a unit, Pete, on your one. They're a hot unit out there, and Stillman, Savard, and Iginla, as you said, are the top unit for the Calgary Flames, and they read off each other very well. Again, they're a unit that's got skill, speed, toughness, and know where each other are, and that's one of the units that head coach Don Hay is counting on putting the Flames in the playoffs.
Off the face-off to Dunham's left side. Tipped down from the right wing, deep into Calgary territory. Race Yachmanev contesting, but Derek Morris had a stride and a half on him and gets the icing call on the Predators with 7:55 gone.
And Coach Barry Trotz saying, and we heard him talk about it, said, hey, the longer we can keep this game close, one goal, tie, one ahead, whatever, the better off it is for us. He said, we're playing 2 and 2 nights. He said, we want to keep our feet moving, but he said, their objective right now is to make sure, A, keep this game close, and B, towards the end of it, maybe start to take over, Petey. No, not maybe. Yes, take over.
Predators fans in evidence here this evening in the Pengrowth Saddledome, even wearing the Predators jersey. Face off to the right side of Dunham. A shot taken. Bure waiting right in front again. The rebound still there, and Tkachuk, I think, hit the outside of the goalpost with a backhand try. Legwand propels the puck onto the left wing side. Twisted out by Yachmanev. Lowry, his pass for Kravchuk. His pass then tipped wide by Hulse. Tkachuk put it just inside the line and took a big hit for his efforts. A follow-up shot from the left wing handled by Dunham, and he'll hold on with 8:21 gone here in the period. And Tkachuk wanting to get back at the perpetrator of the big hit on him, Scott Walker. So Scott Walker going to get one of those favorite lunch buckets of yours, Terry.
Scotty Walker plays the game the way it's supposed to. You're coming through, legitimate check. He just finished buried Daniel Kachuk, the youngster up from the minors, and Kachuk took exception. But I think the wise choice by Kachuk was take your hit, leave it alone, and go away, because don't bother Scotty Walker in that area.
1-1 is the score. 8:21 gone in the second period. Each side getting their goal in the first period. It was Corey Stillman for the Flames and Greg Johnson for the Predators. Greg Johnson out for the face-off, just to the right side of Mike Dunham. Clark Willman for the Flames. Puck dropped. Flames get it back to the point. Gauthier shot and kicked away by Dunham. The rebound, a battle for it, and the shot deflected to Dunham's left. Tiemann trying to get it on the board. Stopped there by Hay. Hay slides it down low. Flames wanted a penalty call, as Lindsay was put hard on the boards, and a follow-up shot goes wide, short side. Rebound comes back to center ice. Tommy Albaline, the veteran, on it now for the Flames. Gauthier backhands it in the Nashville zone. Play getting a little hectic around Predators goaltender Mike Dunham, and the hitting was turned on. Out to center. Goes deep into the Flame zone. Regier and Balasevic. And Regier gets there in time for the icing call on the Predators. 9:07 gone here in the period.
And Pete, we talked about ugly lunch bucket hits and working it, and that time Tiemann just takes Lindsay into the boards, and consequently Lindsay thought it might have been a little too reckless on it, but no call on it. So Kimmo Timonen going in with Lindsay, playing his man, bounce him off the board. And as you mentioned, Pete, both these teams going to the bodies in the corners, around the net, not shying away from the physical aspect.
Ginla steps in for the face-off. Savard and Stillman flanking him. It's to the left of Mike Dunham against David Legwand. Puck comes over to the side through the circle. Savard trying to get a shot away, and it rolled off the toe of his blade. Stillman passing for Savard, tipped away. Now the Predators come back on the transition, thrown in from the left wing by Walker. Behind the net, David Legwand back for Scott Walker. Walker turns toward the left corner. Walker leaves it there for Legwand. The puck was caught up in the skates of the referee. Savard with a beautiful blind backhand pass on the right wing for Ginla. Slipped it underneath Holder. Follow-up shot hit the outside of the post to the right of Dunham. Predators get the rebound onto the right wing board. Pass tipped off the stick of Vitaly Yachmanev. Derek Morris for the Flames. Sent it back inside for Igor Kravchuk. Forced his way around Denis Arkhipov. And then Kravchuk dumped it behind the Nashville net. Approaching the halfway point of regulation. The puck over on the right wing side. Now 10 minutes gone in the second period. Lofted toward the Calgary line. Broken up by Regier. Taken off the boards and then tipped back in by Cesar. Cesar over for Hartnell. And his shot is top point blank. The rebound try by Arkhipov would not have counted had it gone, as we have a penalty call here at 10:14. 10:14 into the second period. Predators got a chance and then a rebound try. Back with more Nashville Predators hockey.
And the youngin' unit from Cesar to Hartnell. He collided with and Arkhipov following up on the play, shot and missed the net. Hartnell already all tied up with a good scoring chance from the feet.
Well, they had Lowry heading off the penalty box and decided not to put him in there. So it's still skating 5-on-5 as off the face-off. The puck is directed through center into the Nashville zone. Holder up on the boards, tipped where Housley held it. Now out across the over the shoulder of Drake Berahowski was the Calgary Flames captain, Dave Lowry. On the board, intercepted by Cesar. Tried to leave for Arkhipov, tipped away from him to Bure. Bure going down the right. He could go with it. Bure lost it thanks to Hartnell, but gets it back in the left corner. Bure turning on Bill Holder. Bure. Bure. And he tops it in the corner. Cowan collides there with Arkhipov. Kachuk taken to the wall by Berehowski. As the backhand clear attempt by Hartnell deflected in, kicked out by Hartnell then. Cesar sweeps it off the linesman. Big collision from the Predators bench. And ready to go now is Hartnell on Cowan. Hartnell, two big right hands. Cowan lost his helmet. Hartnell ready to go back at him again. Hartnell with a couple of big wrestles him down. Left one. Second period. Well, the hitting got more than a little bit fierce, and the tempers flared.
And young Hartnell decided, all right, let's square off. So he and number 38, the rookie Jeff Cowan. So two rookies went at it, and they collided right in front of the bench. Cowan took Hartnell heavy into the boards. Hartnell took exception to it, come off the boards, threw the gloves down. Cowan says, kid, let's dance. And they both went toe-to-toe, so both youngsters, rookies in the league, dropped them, went, and they'll both sit down, enjoy a rest, put some ice on their hands for a while. Teammates go to work.
So they go off at 11:26, and our next Fox telecast coming up Saturday night. Join Terry and me from the Shark Tank in San Jose when the Predators go against the San Jose Sharks and Owen Nolan. That on Fox Sports Net and on Predators Radio as well. And an extra two on for Scott Hartnell. Alexander Boykov will serve the minor. So the Calgary Flames come out of this with a power play. Even at line. Flames about shot the Predators team. Good play to keep it. Slid behind the net, out in front it comes. Dunham down off and up. Little extra his shove in front of Mike Dunham.
And Mark Savard working out of the corner very smartly on the power play, had a good scoring chance. Again, Mike Dunham following Mark Savard out of the corner. He did a wraparound all by himself. He got loose somehow behind that net with nobody near him. And he just did a complete spinorama wraparound. But Mike Dunham was there to greet him because how nobody else was home. Mike Dunham decided, hey, I better be the guy to stop him because Savard was left all alone behind that net on the wraparound. So right now the shots, Nashville 17 and the Flames 13 right to date.
Savard on the face-off, Predators control, and they're able to clear it. Brathwaite all the way out of his net to his left corner. Derek Morris, his left side pass to Savard, crosses the center red line, drills around left side to right. That's Ginla down after it. Puck comes on the Predators' left wing. It'll be carried out by Tom Fitzgerald, and he throws it in after crossing the center red line. Predators changing up their penalty-killing forward combination as the puck is carried through the center circle by Kravchuk. Across the line, they tried to poke check it, goes just wide of Dunham. Onto the boards in the Predators' right. Yachmanev tipping at the puck. It comes down low. Strastich, he spun around behind the net by Ginla. Got it now to Yachmanev, and Yachmanev had an alleyway, and he clears it down.
Yachmanev making a nice play along the boards to avoid 25 Kravchuk pinching down on him. He deked him to the inside, come back to the outside, and threw that puck down ice. But a nice move by Yach when he had nowhere to go with that puck.
Behind the net. Tipped by Lowry, comes over behind the net now. Berehowski got it to the corner for Yachmanev. Bure got in the way. Yachmanev puts it on the wall. Held now. The Predators back at full strength as Boykov, who was serving the Hartnell minor, skates cross ice. So the Predators have killed off the Calgary power play. It's still 1-1. Scott Walker with the puck now. Starts it back up the other way. He just shovels it high into the corner. Predators get a change. 6:15 remaining. We're in the second period. Boykov looming in front of the Calgary net. Kachuk comes back to the left, curling to the right is Housley. Housley takes the pass, tipped it out away from Archipov, and a backhand feed comes in down the right side, and the shot by Lindsay deflected away on his own rebound, working the left side, back to the point. Regier on the left side again, the shot by Bure, broke it up in front, and Scrashtich sends one way up into the stands with 14-12 gone in the second period. It's the Nashville Predators and Calgary Flames, even at 1 at the Pengrowth Saddledome. This is Predators hockey. Mike Dunham has stopped 17 of 18 Calgary Flames shots at one end of the ice. At the other end, Fred Brathwaite has stopped 12 of 13 Predators shots on goal tonight. Pete Weber, Terry Crisp with 5:48 remaining in the second period in a face-off of the Nashville zone. The right side of Mike Dunham comes out to the left point. Gauthier lining up, shooting and firing it wide. Rebound to Albaline. Skates down the right wing side with the corner on the left side. Robitaille stays with him, trying to send it back for Hay. Hay got upended. No penalty call there, and the fans more than a little irate at that. Cale Holtz tried to get it around Wilm, who tied him up. Lindsay off now, and the shot taken by Hay is handled by Dunham. They were really working the Predators' right defensive side and got a scoring chance just off to Dunham's right.
And Pete, I can guarantee you off of this one, because right from the face-off this all started, you've got to start to win them. Lindsay makes a perfect pass out, and the Calgary Flames player was all alone in the slot. He just hammers a one-timer, but as Mike Dunham has done so well, he just moves out, takes the angle away, and makes the save. But again, that all started in our zone by not winning the face-off, and I'm sure that Coach Trotz and PD and Gardner will be saying, hey fellas, we got to start to win the face-offs, especially in the defensive zone, because Calgary's had at least 5 to 6 good scoring chances right straight from the face-offs in the defensive zone. So bear down on the face-off, boys.
Face-off will be to Dunham's right side again, and an excellent face-off man out for Calgary. Jeff Shantz stepping in against him for the Predators is Scott Walker. They drop it. Predators get it, put it behind the net for Timonen. Timonen looking left, comes out right. Timonen now up the middle, angles left side, circles back, and passes over to Cale Holtz. Holtz to center ice for Legwand. Legwand onto the right wing, where it's thrown in wide of Fred Brathwaite. Derek Morris up over the glass with that, stopping the clock with 14:58 gone. The National Sports Report comes up tonight following this Nashville Predators game, featuring news, opinions, and highlights, all from a fresh perspective. It's the National Sports Report.
Be the one area where Coach Trotz says, if we're going to make some hay while the sun shines, it's got to be on this defense core. He says, we've got to get on them, play the body. He said, they've got a good combination of skill and toughness. But he said, you've got to get on their skilled defensemen. He said, they're not that tough, those skilled ones. We've got to make sure we play the body, especially in Calgary zone.
On the face-off, flipped out wide of Stillman. Again, they're going after. Taking on Scrashtich, a shot. That one stopped. Scrashtich put the rebound to the corner, but Stillman on top of that. Turning on the end board, Berehowski away from Savard for Legwand. Legwand's pass tipped just away by Yachmanev, preventing Morris from getting a good chance, and the Flames have to retreat. Stillman onto his left wing side for Savard. He was bottled up, drilled back in wide by Legwand. Yachmanev on the rebound above the left hash mark, slides it behind the net. Igor Kravchuk gives it back to the youngster Mark Savard. On the left wing by the hash mark, tip to Stillman. Stillman cross ice for Derek Morris. Morris's pass to Savard, taking it down the middle. Tried to pass and lost it to Greg Johnson. Greg Johnson behind the Nashville net. On the left wing side, it's carried ahead by Holder. Holder angles it in the air. Down in the corner, left side of Brathwaite. Gauthier was able to clear it, but by everyone. And as Scrashtich goes back to touch it, this will be an icing call on the Calgary Flames with 16:09 gone in the second period. Carlos Grastinch, who leads the Predators in blocked shots and has all year, Terry.
And watching Carlos Grastinch from when he first came up here, Pete, to now, this guy is starting to play with so much confidence. And you know the funny part about a player like Grastinch is the compliment is you don't notice him that much out there. You know why you don't notice him? Because he's doing his job so well, so capably. Maybe it's not flashy, maybe it's not end-to-end rushes, but he gets the job. Game in and game out, you can count on Carlos Grastinch being there. Block shots, move the puck out safely, take the man out, doesn't take dumb penalties. I guess that's a left-handed compliment, is it, Professor?
Or you can put it this way. Of the two defensemen I know in this league from Riga, Latvia, which one is more dependable defensively? Carlos Grastinch or Sandis Ozolic?
Which one's going to get 1,000 points?
Off the face-off to the left of Fred Brathwaite. Behind the net, Tommy Albolin. On the right side, it went past Bure, tipped by Grastinch, and it comes back to center ice. Grastinch over right side for Holtz. Now on the open left wing to Kjellberg. Kjellberg whips a pass, stopped by Cesar. Backhand try, and then chopped wide by Kjellberg. Archipov behind the net, bothered by Albolin. Turns around. Pass taken away off his stick and started back up ice by Kachuk. Left wing side at center. Gauthier throws it down low in the Predator zone. Timonen took a hit, getting some help off onto the side from Marian Cesar. Bure tips it up high. It goes behind the Predator goal. Pounded off the wall by Timonen and taken on the left wing and tipped out to center. Kjellberg tried to tip it right to Cesar, but the Flames take back over. Lofted into the Nashville zone, rolling toward Dunham. He paddles it back over for Kimmo Timonen. 1-1 the score, 2:52 remaining. We're in the second period of the Pengrowth Saddledome. Pass off the boards, taken away by Ginla. Behind the net, they center, deflected out. Savard turning it to Morris. His shot way wide to the short side. Ginla on the rebound left corner. Out to the point, Regier. Couldn't handle it cleanly. Put it over to Predators left wing forward. Swept out wide of Kjellberg, but it clears the zone. Morris takes a return pass outside the Calgary line. Move around Kjellberg inside. Ginla tips it over. Savard's shot stopped by Dunham. Rebound to the right wing side for Walker. 2:16 remaining in the second. Walker's pass for Johnson, broken up by the line. Tipped into a scrum by the line and slipped underneath the coverage by Scott Walker, but taken away by Savard. Down the right wing side now, Lindsay, a backhand try. Dunham down guarding his left post. Berehowski puts the puck on the boards, got it past Gauthier. No icing. Albolin has to go back and get it. Albolin pressured by Walker. Over for Gauthier. Gauthier, backhand pass for Lindsay, who picks himself back up off his knees. It's tipped out to center and backhanded in by Tom Fitzgerald. 1:42 remaining in the second period. Albolin up to center ice into the Nashville zone. It's Grastinch. Grastinch for Fitzgerald, tipped it out across the line. Back for Gauthier from the Calgary line, passed over right side for Wilm. Clark Wilm in down the right side below the hash mark, holds up. His shot deflected off the glass to the right side of Dunham. Pass now for Shots off the left board. The shot that was tipped before it got to Dunham, and the rebound cleared off the board to center. Very quickly, Kravchuk over for Morris at the line, and then backhanded down low by Clark Wilm. Shots behind the net, try to shovel out in front. Puck is right there, and the shot, they score! A scrum around Dunham, and Dave Lowry had an open upper left-hand corner at which to shoot. He put it in, and the Flames take a 2-1 lead at 18:55 of the second.
And you can bet Mike Dunham will be arguing about this one, because number 23, Clark Willem, goes right to the net, and there's nothing but bodies in there when the puck comes out to the Calgary player, and he just buries it. But Mike Dunham by then had been already knocked down out of the play, was down, and the Calgary player just stepped up, Lowry, and just banged it into an open net, because Dunham had about 3 guys sitting on him.
So Lowry will get credit for his 9th. There is no going to the telephone for the officiating crew to check it out. Walker throws in the ensuing faceoff. Lowry with his 9th, and the Flames lead it 2-1. Now breaking out Kachuk, trying to get around Yachmanev. Kachuk. Yachmanev held up his stick from behind. Kicked by Walker, backhands it to the Predators' left board. Yachmanev spun by Bure. Yachmanev gives it back to Berehowski. Around the boards on the right wing. Kravchuk holds up his man. Tkachuk gives it up. Backhand try taken there by Lowry and deflects away off the stick of Dunham. Yachmanev is able to clear the puck. Back to Morris. Morris fades back inside the Calgary line to Bure. Tkachuk, left side is pass ahead of Kravchuk, and it comes inside the Nashville zone. 17 seconds to go. Berehowski to Holder. Holder tipped in from center ice by Legwand. Under 10 seconds to go in the period. Predators getting a change. Morris up the middle for Hay. Goes just wide of Dunham, who directs it to the corner. 2 seconds to go in the period as the puck comes back through center, and the Calgary Flames have taken a lead here with the goal in the last minute 5 of the second period. So we head into the second intermission with the score Calgary 2, Nashville 1. This is Nashville Predators hockey. Now we take a look at what's coming your way tonight on the National Sports Report following this Predators game. For that, we take you now to the Fox Network Center. Game.
Welcome back to the Pengrowth Saddledome, Calgary, Alberta, where at the end of 2 periods, a late goal by the Calgary Flames give them a 2-1 lead over the Nashville Predators. It's been a goaltenders duel so far up to this point. Mike Dunham, Freddie Brathwaite doing what they're supposed to do, and the goal scorers trying to catch up to it. Well, you've heard us talk about traffic to the net. You've heard us talk about shots on net. You've also heard rebounds. Tonight, Hockey 101, rebounds.
Hockey 101 is brought to you by Bell South Mobility.
Fast, deep, hard forechecking by Scott Walker, making contact, results in a giveaway to defenseman Timo Timonen. He decides, I just got to get this puck through on net because Randy Robitaille is sniffing around for a rebound. Is it there? Yes. Randy Robitaille says, giveaway, shot through, rebound, I'll take the goal.
Hockey 101 has been brought to you by Bell South Mobility.
There you have it, rebound. The Predators will rebound back in the third period, and I know that you're going to rebound back for the third period with us. So get back here quickly, Predators hockey.
Mobility store.
At the Pengrowth Saddledome in Calgary, the Flames a 2-1 lead on the Nashville Predators after 2 periods of play. We asked you a trivia question last intermission, and that one was this. Denis Arkhipov had scored in his first Predators game, getting an assist on the goal by Richard Lintner Monday night in Vancouver. He then became the 5th Predator to pick up a point in his first Nashville game. Can you name the other 4? You've had a whole period plus to think about it. Terry, give me the answers, please.
The answers will be Jan Bopat. Remember that name? Of course, retired because of the rash. Carlos Krastich, Randy Robitaille, and Greg Clausen. I am a genius.
That you are, and add Denis Arkhipov now to that updated list. And Greg Clausen as well, also doing it decent. We'll have more coming up from the Pengrowth Saddledome. We'll take a look at highlights of the second period on Nashville Predators hockey. Calgary Flames up 2-1 on the Nashville Predators after 40 minutes of play at the Pengrowth Saddledome in Calgary, Alberta. The second stop on the Alberta Tour, third stop on this 4-game road trip, which will conclude Saturday night in San Jose. And the Predators giving up the go-ahead goal in the last couple of minutes of play in the second period.
And you don't want that, Pete, giving up a goal in the last minute of play. And this time, Shots and Willem, they do all the skullduggery, but the guy who does the damage is Lowry. He gets the puck out there. Dunham's got nothing but trapping sitting on him, Pete. He has no chance to even find the puck.
He lit the flame with his 9th goal of the year at 18:55. Jeff Schatz and Clark Willem with the assist to give Calgary a 2-1 lead. It was the second period, Terry, which featured some of our favorite things. Bone-crunching hits.
Good bone-crunching, solid, physical hockey out there, Pete. Both teams going to the body, and both teams realizing, hey, sitting at 40 points apiece, a playoff spot within reach, they were playing good hitting hockey.
All right, when we return, a look at second period stats. We'll hear from assistant coach Paul Gardner as well on Nashville Predators hockey. Pete Weber, Terry Crisp, Pengrowth Saddledome, 2-1 heading to the third period. We spoke with assistant coach Paul Gardner just a few moments ago and asked him what they want to stress heading into this third period.
Well, again, almost the exact opposite, or same thing as last night, that we slid behind in the second period here, and we didn't play as well. We've got to be a little more aggressive on the offensive part of it and go after it and believe in ourselves to score some goals, and hopefully we can do the same as last night or close to it, get 2 or 3 and win this hockey game.
All right, set for the third period. Nick Johnson will face off at center ice with Clark Wilm, and the Flames take it back to Tommy Albeline from the right side. Flips it down over the glass to the left of Mike Dunham. Now a chance to examine the stats from the second period to the first 40 minutes of play, thanks to Southwest Airlines. Calgary with the lead 2-1. And a market advantage in shots on goal, but it narrowed somewhat in the hits, Terry.
The hits narrowed, people. The area I mentioned, the face-offs, Calgary 23-18. Not a big differential, but the big difference I noticed was in the defensive zone. I'm sure the coaching staff said, hey, fellas, we got to start to bear down. Make sure we win them all in the defensive zone.
Third period brought to you by Southwest Airlines. A pass knocked down at the Calgary line and a hand pass will cause the stoppage with 13 seconds gone.
Well, Coach Paul Gardner said it. He said the same as Strotzy said, and the same as that Coach Peterson said. Gard says, hey, we have to be more aggressive. We got to believe in ourselves, believe in our system, believe in what we're doing, the same as we did last night in Edmonton. Go after it. Don't sit back. Don't wait for it to happen. Get out there and make it happen.
Face off outside the Calgary line. Wilm pulls it back in. Tommy Albeline, left side of his goaltender. Off center, forwards to center. Now in the Nashville zone, it's Richard Lintner. Lintner to his left for Skrastins. Thrown in by Scott Hartnell and stopped behind the net by defender Fred Brathwaite. Reverse to the right side wall. It comes off. Skrastins' shot tipped wide to Brathwaite's left side. Off the wall, tipped out by Hay. Inside it's Skrastins. Skrastins from the left circle. Comes out near the line, then gives it back, and Lintner didn't get it out across the line. Savard and looking for Iginla. He lost it. Stillman rolls away from him. Held in at the blue line, but taken out now by Yachmanev. Pass on the right wing for Walker. Walker with leg one, heading to the net. Leg one tried to tip it, just rolled off the blade of his stick. Yachmanev behind the net for Walker. Yachmanev tries to set up in front. Leg one, back for Walker on the half board. Walker, and it's jacked wide by Yachmanev. Rebound. Cale Holst put it on net, almost deflected in by Kravchuk. Taken now by Derek Morris. Predators all over the Flames, but Derek Morris just managed to clear the puck down the wing, and back to get it is Cale Holst. Holst around the boards, the Predators' right side. Stillman threw it cross ice. Delay or a penalty call is going to be made here. A penalty with 1:33 gone in the period, and Cale Holst is going to be escorted off to the box.
He gets tagged for taking a punch at Mark Savard, who was forechecking coming down ice hard on him. And Savard takes him into the boards, a partial check. Hulse took exception to it, come off the boards and give him a right to the jaw. And the referee was standing right there and says, well, you can body check and you can throw a hip check, but you can't give a guy a right cross coming off the boards. So Cale Hulse takes 2 minutes for roughing, giving the Calgary Flames a power play.
This will be their third of the night. Nothing of their previous two. They lead the game 2-1, and a great chance for them to put further distance between themselves and the Predators. Tkachuk will begin with Bure on his left. On his right side is Dave Lowry. Housley and Albeline the points as the puck is deflected out through center ice by Holder. On the right wing side, Lowry. His pass picked off by Valisevic. Coming on, his shot deflected wide by the stick of Albeline. Behind the net, drilled around on the boards for Lowry by Bure. Give it back to Bure. Valerie Bure skating with the puck, cutting to the center of the ice. Got around Valisevic. Carries in across the Nashville line. Goes wide right to Housley. Housley a backhand feed. Shot to the side of Dunham. Off to his right side. Skating with it. Berahowski just clears it out where Albeline stops the pass. For Tkachuk. Back to Albeline at the Calgary line. Flames on the power play, another minute 17. Drilled into the zone from the left side by Albeling. Dunham got a little piece of it behind the net. It's past Barahowski, and then drilled down the right side wall by Valisevic to clear. 1:01 remaining in the penalty on Cale Hulse. 2-1. Flames the lead. And an offside pass as Stillman took it in on the right wing with 2:38 gone in the period. All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Nashville Hockey Club Limited Partnership is expressly prohibited.
And take heed. Well, Pete, good time right now for the boys to jump up. A little short-handed goal would go get us back on beam, and as Coach Gardner and Trotz and Peterson said, get us aggressive, get us believing, and get us tied up to boot.
Flames at the puck. Left wing side, take it in at Ginla. 45 seconds to go on the penalty. Ginla joust there with Holder. Mark Savard, right corner. Comes out toward the hash mark. Back to Stillman. Stillman's pass, blue line, and Kravchuk. His shot deflected away by Yatsenev. Kravchuk on the rebound, paddles it down low. Now Savard behind the net. His pass tipped all the way out. Kravchuk the drive, and that's way up into the seats and goes almost through the vomitory under the scoreboard.
And the one thing Kravchuk can do, Pete, he can shoot that puck if given time out there, the defenseman for the Calgary Flames. He's one of the ones that Coach Trotz referred to as the skilled part of the defense core. And that time he gets it back to the point, gets it teed up. And again, the Predators doing a good job of getting out there and blocking shots. And that time, Greg Johnson, I believe, come out and just threw himself in front of that, tipped it up and over, trying to help Mike Dunham, saying, okay, Mike, you don't have to stop every shot. We'll try and deflect a few for you.
So the Flames with a 2-1 lead have 25 seconds remaining on this man advantage, and a face-off about 10 feet inside the Nashville line. Fitzgerald versus Wilm. Wilm jumped a little prematurely there. The linesman Troy Sartison had yet to drop the puck, so Shantz comes in to take over for Wilm for Calgary. Drop, kick back to Kravchuk, right side Morris. Morris forced wide by Walker. Morris goes down behind the net. Wilm left corner. Clark Wilm, stick handling, comes back up to the half board. As he got his pass through to Shantz, down low left. Shantz, his pass blocked away by Barahowski, who went sprawling. Shantz in the left corner. 3 seconds to go on this power play for the Flames. The pass comes into the middle and the shot goes wide. Back out of the penalty box is Cale Hulse. The Predators have killed this one off. Onto the left wing board for Walker. Walker out for Cale Hulse. Hulse crosses the center red line, backhands it in. Predators get a change. So the Predators have the Calgary power play. The puck comes trickling through back to the Nashville line. Richard Lintner up the right side, tipped in by Marian Cesar. Brathwaite paddles it right out on the left wing. Tipped through center, almost cleanly to Savard, and then banged off the wall by Scrastinch. Cesar has it at center. Couldn't get it around Archipok's skate. Over to the boards on the right wing side. Phil Housley tips it for Hay, and Hay deflects it into the Nashville zone. Timo Timonen behind the net, comes straight away in front. Headmans the puck for Hartnell, left wing at center. Hartnell in across the line on the left wing. His shot off the stick of Brathwaite to the boards on the Flames' left side, and they clear it behind Hulse into the Nashville zone. Timo Timonen has it. Flames getting their players on the ice after the change. Timonen left side up the boards, trying for Robitaille, tipped inside for Albeline, over for Robin Regeer. Regeer's pass to Kachuk from the left side, feathers it down in the corner. Now Dunham paddles it over left. Bure couldn't tie it up. Albeline to Bure, comes out near the right point and rolls it behind the net for Lowry, trying to pass to Kachuk, broken up by a poke check. Lowry to the right corner. Lowry up to the half board for Bure. Bure goes all the way out toward the blue line, leaves it now for Albeline, right side Lowry, his shot way wide short side. On the rebound is Bure, left it in the corner. David Legwan taps it for Lintner. Lintner couldn't get around Kachuk. Scrastinch comes over on the right side, pounds it off the boards, held in by Gauthier. Gauthier rolls it behind the Nashville net, now to the Predators' left corner. Backhanded by Lintner, knocked down by Albeline at center. Lost it now, ahead on the left wing side. Touch back now for Legwan by Kjellberg, and the puck taken away from in front of the Calgary net. Good play coming back by Kachuk to Stillman. Stillman has a little bit of room, passes the right side for Savard. The Flames get back onside. That allows Berehowski to pass over to Bill Holder atop the left circle. Return to Berehowski. Back to Holder. Holder up on the left wing side for Valasevic. Tips it in the zone for Johnson. Johnson on the left sidewall. Lost it, and it's backhanded through center into the Nashville zone. Bill Holder retrieves. He played 6 minutes, 8 seconds in the third. It's still a 2-1 Calgary lead. Pass bounced off the boards. Friendly for Johnson. Johnson drops it back as the shot deflected away to Bill Holder on the left side. His shot into traffic deflected now by the goaltender. And Boykov puts on a big hit in the corner. The net behind the net for Johnson. Johnson to the right corner. Johnson down low, tipped up in the air with the crossbar. It's Berehowski behind the Calgary net. And we have a penalty call coming up here. 13:27 remaining in the third period. Flames 2, Predators 1 from Calgary. This is Nashville Predators hockey.
Circuit breakers. Check.
Talked about ugly lunch bucket hockey. That means shoot the puck. Never mind the drop pass. He's in cold. Don't drop it because it's going to get tipped. Shoot the puck, Pete. Skate, shoot, 5 and arrive. Make it happen. And happening, Calgary is on the power play. Boykov, 2 minutes for high sticky.
But the Predators got the first shot a line by Bill Holder. Drilled into the zone, wrapped around from right side to the Calgary Flames left. Bill Holder behind the net and able to get it out to the left side. Cleared out now. Walker Fitzgerald combining on that. Housley to Albeline, left side at center, dropped it back to Housley, coming out across the Calgary line. The other right wing for Bure. Bure from above the circle throws it around the left side. Sent back to the right corner. Bounced up off Bure's stick. Predators scratched him, got it to the line, but Housley holds it in over for Kachuk. Left circle. Kachuk with some room. His shot. That goes off Dunham. The rebound. They flail away at it. And on the right wing boards, it's taken by Scott Walker. Walker just lofts it in down in the corner. Walker goes after it himself. He has Johnson heading to the front of the net. Throws a shot wide, and it comes out to Drake Berehowski. Berehowski pounds it down low. 54 seconds remaining in the penalty. Predators changing up their penalty killers. Flames coming out with the puck. Head to Iginla. Iginla in right side. Iginla holds up on the side of the circle to Derek Morris. A shot tipped just wide short side. Rebound. Predators on their right wing board. Yachman tried to backhand it out. Stopped by Iginla. Strastinch backhands it around the boards for Berehowski. Kicks it onto his stick. Clears the puck. Morris. Didn't realize he had it right at the skates in front of the bench. Tipped in wide by Stillman. Iginla on the left wing. Turning by the hash mark for Savard. Stillman. He's checked against the boards by Kimmo Timonen. 13 seconds remaining on the penalty. Iginla tips it down left side for Stillman at the hash mark. Stillman goes up toward the blue line. It over wide, and it's thrown down now for Iginla. The shot deflected, and Dunham paddles it away to his right. Predators back at full strength. Yachmanev couldn't clear, but it Hulse by Hulse. Ahead for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald and Boykov. Fitzgerald shot stopped. Goes for the rebound as Fitzgerald. He got turned away as the puck is paddled away to the left side wall. Stopped by Hartnell. His shot right on. Stopped, and the rebound comes out to Richard Littner. Littner, the shot goes wide short side. Boykov holds it in from the left board, rolls it behind the net. Kravchuk has it now. The Predators getting it changed as Cesar came in forcing Stillman. Comes back inside the line. Cesar, his shot deflected to the corner. Hartnell on it there. Wilm poked at the puck. Kravchuk. Back now it comes. Littner's shot. That one stopped and held there by the goaltender, Freddie Brathwaite. So the Predators getting some pressure on Terry after they had killed off the penalty.
Good penalty kill, and then again, what the coaching staff want, Pete, they want some action. They want some drive towards the net. Scotty Hartnell in the corner, fighting for it. Back it comes. Get the net. Make it happen out there. Hello, how's your eardrums? But that's what they want. They want traffic to the net out there on that one, Pete. Woke you up, didn't it?
Certainly did. Now that's the sort of wake-up call we'll need in the morning before taking off for San Jose.
Exactly.
Fred Brathwaite waiting for a new goalie stick to be returned to him by the bench, and referee Rob Schick will do the favor of bringing the new one into play for him.
but I'm sure the coaching staff on the Predators bench just said, yes, guys, that's what we want. Muck around in the corners, get the puck back, get it through on net, the same as you did in Edmonton last night.
Young one's out, one back now to Barahowski. His shot didn't get through the traffic. It's back from Cesar, files one wide. Cesar just got a little piece of the stick on it. Back it comes. They try to center, taken by Clark Wilm. Wilm backhands. Off it comes to shot goes wide. Behind the net, Cesar trying to tip it out in front. Clark Wilm getting it out for Jeff Schatz. Deflects off him to center and going into the boards to sweep it off his arc. Taken back by Wilm. Wilm comes in right wing side with it. Lindsay to Wilm. Wilm check. The shot taken there by Schatz and covered up by Mike Dunham. With the save. 9:52 gone in the third period.
Barahowski doing a good job of protecting Mike Dunham on the original rush. He stands up, his man takes his man, puts him out of the play, but the rebound comes right off when Bear takes his man to number 11 stick shots, and he fires it, but Mike Dunham was following the play all the way. He watched Bear take his man out, then he played the shot and said, nope, the puck's here, I got it played. Bear took his man, I got my shot.
Face off now to Mike Dunham's left side. Stillman sees he needs a new stick, so he heads back to the bench. Flames getting some extra breathing time versus the goaltender Brathwaite before the last draw had to get a new stick. And now Stillman, who goes into the face-off circle, gets another. He'll face off with David Legwand. Legwand pulls it back for Timonen, over for Hulse. Hulse goes up the middle, Legwand onto the right wing for Valasevic. Too far for him. Mikhail Hulse follows up, and it's tipped in deeply by Valasevic. Behind the net, Legwand. Legwand spins with Kravchuk. Deflected away from Robitaille. It's Derek Morris. Morris trying to come out with it. Flames have it on the stick of Stillman. His shot in, lodges on the side of the net momentarily, and Dunham will cover up. 10:20 gone. We're in the third period. Calgary still clinging to a 2-1 lead in the Pengrowth Saddledome. This is Nashville. Here's hockey.
It's traditional.
Calgary leads Nashville at 9:40 remaining in the third period. Face off in the Predators zone to Mike Dunham's right. Kachuk in there against Greg Johnson. Carlos Krastinch, right wing side for the Predators, and then tipped out further by Scott Walker. Kachuk's pass broken up by Walker in the referee screens. Throws it in down the right side, taken by Kravchuk. Kravchuk up his left boards, and the pass tipped wide by Bure. Barahowski back in his zone, and his pass took a strange bounce off the boards deep into Calgary territory. Kravchuk will go back and touch up. This is the icing call on the Nashville Predators. Well, the Predators will be hosting the Boston Bruins on Friday night, January 19th. That will be Lowe's Car Flag night coming up here, and that will be in the Gaylord Entertainment Center in Nashville. The first 10,000 fans at the game get this Predators car flag courtesy of Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. So make sure you get there for that. And Terry, to be part of the action, what number do you call?
You call 615-770-PUCK. And Professor, get back from the edge of that catwalk you're on. You got a lot of nerve standing there, let alone waving the flag, buddy.
Well, next time, I'm going to swing out underneath the scoreboard.
Camera crew, you heard that. Be ready.
Bill Holder's pass, tipped to center, knocked down by Gauthier. Gauthier just outside the line, content to slide it in deeply. Holder chips it on the boards, taken out by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, and crossing the line, dumps in the corner, dies there like a kill shot. And we'll have an icing call as hustling back Albaline just did get his stick on it. They ruled that Fitzgerald was behind that center red line. So the storyline for this game tonight, well, we all go back right now at this point anyway to that mucking goal for the Flames.
And the one where Schatz and Willem were in there mucking around, as you said, the puck come out to Lowry, and he just put it into almost an empty net because Dunham had traffic all over him.
Mike Dunham has stopped 23 of 25 tonight. Greg Johnson had a goal to tie this one up at 6:47 of the opening period. But 2-1 Calgary, face-off Nashville zone to the right of Mike Dunham with 8:48 remaining in regulation. And one linesman helping out the other, pointing out that Hay was not properly lined up on the left side of the faceoff circle for Calgary. Troy Sartizan getting Tom Fitzgerald and Clark Wilm, the participants in this draw, straightened out. As the puck is tipped off the boards through to center. Yachmanev skates into it. Carries ahead. Calgary zone for Skrastich, the shot. And that's held by Fred Brathwaite with Legwand waiting in front, hoping that puck might get away from Brathwaite.
Good 3-on-2 rush by the Predators, but an equally good defensive play by the Calgary Flames. We've got 3 guys coming down on the rush, but Calgary got 3 guys down, and nobody is getting near goaltender Brathwaite, because they'll give him a shot, a clear pitcher, and he'll stop those all night long. So again, good rush by the Predators. Equally good defensive maneuvers by the Calgary Flames. Brathwaite just picks it off, puts it down, and says, face off and start again, boys.
The youngins out. Hartnell left side. Arkhipov center. Cesar on the right for the face-off to the right of Brathwaite. Rolled back by Shantz for Regier. Regier left side of his goaltender. Throws it through center. Goes skipping back into the Predator zone. Timonen there. Timonen looking for the breakout. Right of Dunham. Gives it to Cale Hulse. Cross ice. Arkhipov had to wait behind and tip it back off the boards to center. Thrown back in by the veteran, Phil Housley. Dunham stops it behind the net for Kimmo Timonen. Timonen looks left this time. Arkhipov, the pass off the boards, broken up, followed up by Hulse, tipped in by Cesar. Cesar goes down after it. Housley puts it on the board, and taken out now by Lowry. Lowry slipped it behind Hulse to Tkachuk. Tkachuk trying to break to the front. That got a follow-up shot, but it bounced back to him and goes off the Predator defenseman. Tkachuk on the right wing board, tips it to the end board. There, a collision with Hartnell and Lowry. Tkachuk back to Housley. Housley ruined the shot. That one goes off the glass. Rebound on the Predators' right side wall. Kicked at by Cesar. Comes back for Lowry. Backhand feed, intercepted Timonen. And then Lowry kept it in, but just momentarily so at the Nashville line. Penalty call coming up here on Scott Walker, I believe. With 7:23 remaining and Lowry down. And we have some pushing and shoving now outside the penalty box.
And that was a result of a hit in the neutral zone, Pete. Again, close to the boards. And anytime you hit somebody close to the boards coming in from behind, the referees take a dim view of it. And that time, Marian Cesar was caught checking from behind into the boards in the neutral zone on number 10. And again, a weak one, but they're calling anything hit from behind. So Cesar on Lowry from behind the neutral zone will take 2 minutes in the penalty box. Then Calgary Flames will go on the power play.
They're third of the period, Terry, and fifth of the night.
And again, the second one from a hit from behind, or charging, however you want to say it, on the Predators.
12:37 the time of the penalty. Flames nothing of their previous 4 with a man advantage. Morris drills one in. Stick save Dunham to his right. Cleared onto the boards and then back by Johnson. Derek Morris and Kravchuk, the point men on this power play unit for Calgary. Morris across his line. Now the center red line. Throws it in, but it's right on the stick of Cale Hulse for the Predators. Hulse comes out. Clears it off the stick of Morris toward Fred Brathwaite, but Morris gets it back himself. Derek Morris angles to his right, drills it in around the boards. Predators, Lindsay going after it, then shots behind the net. They try to kick it away from Clark Wilm. Poked away from him by Tom Fitzgerald on the left side boards. The puck comes away the front. Lindsay turning around shots, and a point-blank stop made by Dunham. Dunham keeps us the 2-1 game with shots right in front of him. Clark Wilm on the boards on the Flames' right wing side. Lindsay in the corner. Berehowski there, so too is Shantz. Lindsay turns back up on the boards toward the half wall. Clark Wilm reaches in. Tom Fitzgerald is there also. Skrastich pulls it free. Carlos Skrastich and the Predators can come back perhaps 3-on-2. Skrastich in across the line, right wing. Skrastich with the shot deflected away by Kravchuk. Brathwaite down, but the Flames able to clear it out on the left wing side. Now the Flames come back. 3-on-2. Stillman, Savard. Savard shot blocked away by Cale Hulse. On the left wing side, steered ahead for Valasevic. Valasevic got tripped up, but sends it deep into the Flame zone. 20 seconds remaining on the Cesar penalty. 5:39 remaining in the third period. Flames up 2-1. Phil Housley pounds it in around the glass from right side to left. The bounce comes out for Bill Holder. He drills it on the boards. Past Albeline all the way back in the Calgary zone. That'll do it for the Flames power play. Cesar comes back out of the box. Up to center ice. Cesar tipped at it. Yachmanev throws it in. And it's taken by Housley for an icing call on Nashville. 14:47 has been played here in the third period. We're at the Pengrowth Saddledome in Calgary, Alberta. And this is Nashville Predators hockey.
Wait. How would you have done playing in the Bubble Boys League?
Where is he? He's behind the net again. Go get him. We can't. We don't go back there. Look, his arms and legs are moving. He is smaller in person. Hey.
I think it had done pretty well.
What did he say? Let me at him.
Go ahead.
You're not going to center.
This Predators game is brought to you by Pepsi, the official choice of the Nashville Predators. By Gaylord Entertainment, proud partner of the Nashville Predators. By Gatorade Thirst Quencher. When the moment comes, will you have what it takes to finish? Gatorade. Is it in you? By AmSouth Bank, the relationship people. By Baptist Sports Medicine. More athletes choose Baptist. By Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people. By Bell South Mobility, where your minutes roll over. They're your minutes. Keep them. And by Bud Light, proud supporter of the NHL.
Flames lead it 2-1, but the AmSouth save of the game, Terry.
And on the power play, Schatz was left all alone, number 11. The puck come to him. There was Schatz, the puck, and Mike Dunham. And Mike Dunham come up on top for the AmSouth save of the game, Pete.
To this point, with 5:13 remaining.
Thank you for correcting me.
AmSouth,
True.
yes, the relationship people, but Dunham keeping it a 1-goal differential. Shellberg's pass to Walker. Walker down the right wing side. The shot. That one rockets high to the corner. Timonen for Walker. Walker steps by. Legwan takes it. Trying to get it back to the defenseman coming down, but the Flames break up the play and come back on the counter. Ginla taken into the boards, but bounced off Lintner, who lost his helmet. Onto the left wing side. Taken now by David Legwan. Legwan tips it a little bit wide of the winger, and it's Gauthier in the Calgary zone. Up the wall. Shellberg got a piece of it, but Savard works it in for Lowry. Cross ice for Ginla. Had to reach behind. Ginla working the left half board. Ginla, Holder staying with him as they slide the puck down toward the corner. Shellberg getting its way, kicking out of his stick, up for Walker. Walker out across the line. 4:17 remaining in the third. Walker lost it. Ginla played it back inside his zone. Morris for Kravchuk down the left wing. Predators on a change. Kravchuk gets tipped in by Kachuk on net. Paddled away by Dunham for Bill Holder. Holder comes away to the side of the Predator net. Passes right side. Hulse goes over to it. Deflected off his stick, and Lowry deflects it back in the Predator zone. Kachuk left corner. Kachuk sidestepped Cale Hulse. They kick at the puck. Kachuk behind the net with it. Comes out right side. Hay couldn't find it for the shot. He ends up kicking it behind the net. Bure, right circle, lost it to Hartnell. Hartnell skating out to center ice. Backhands it in the zone for Cesar. It goes under Kravchuk's stick. Cesar behind the Calgary net. Kravchuk tries to pin him there. Hartnell comes over to help out. It's poked free around the boards. Berehowski right side, can't keep it in. Berehowski trying to keep it away from Hay, who has a break. Hay breaking in, and it deflected off Skrastich on the Nashville net, where it's covered by Mike Dunham.
And Hay doing a good job. He was trying to get free out there. Dwayne Hay, number 21, trying to get free. Again, a turnover just gets by Barahowski on the boards. He couldn't trap it, and Bear's fighting him all the way back. And I'll tell you, Karlis Strastic come the long mile, Pete, to help out Barahowski on hay. Bear was bothering him, but he was getting away, and Strastic came roaring back to help out. Dunham still had to make a save off that play.
Johnson, Robitaille, Yachmanev out for the face-off to the left of Dunham. Jeff Schatz pulls it back, directed back to the point. The shot deflected up in front. Passed over now right side for Yachmanev. Yachmanev, a backhand pass, tipped in, and then just came out across the line. Shots by the Predators bench, tips it into the Nashville zone. Yachmanev puts it around the boards to his right side. Hit that there. Working at the puck, Clark Wilm, and we have a stoppage with 2:55 remaining in the third period. Terry, I still have a sense about this one. How many times have these two teams in the last couple of seasons played overtime in this game?
And pounded a whole bunch of goals home in the last minute and a half, 2 minutes of a hockey game. Pete, you're dead on right. So nothing is over in this game, nor decided with 2:55 left in the third period. But I think that Coach Trotz is going to tell us, okay, guys, time to maybe take not a dumb risk, but a calculated risk. Let's start head down ice, join the rush. Let's us start to make it happen. They have the 1-goal lead. We can't sit back. We've got to initiate now.
The puck passed over to an open right wing after the face-off win by the Predators. Shellberg in across the line. Valisevic trying to get to it. Strastinch does. Pulled away now by Iginla. Flames come back 2-on-2. Iginla kicks it into the zone. He's pinned against the wall by Barahowski. Now Legwand leaves the puck for Strastinch. Strastinch comes from the left circle. His pass ahead of Rob Valisevic back to the Calgary line. Tipped by Gauthier towards Stillman. Strastinch turns it back around for Valisevic. Down the right wing side. Shellberg in the corner along with Albeline. Up on the boards and cleared through center back to the Predators' end. Bill Holder from the Nashville blue line. Pass ahead. Shellberg tipped by Valisevic deep into the zone. Predators getting a change. 2:03 remaining. It's Derek Morris shoveling it in. Knocked down by Timonen. Timonen looking left side. The pass behind Hartnell. Intercepted. Turned back over by the Flames into the Nashville zone. Dunham stops it for Bill Holder. 2-1 Flames the lead. Timonen left side. Quickly off the right wing boards in the Flames zone. Tipped out away from Archipov. And Lowry puts it down in the Predators' end. Richard Lintner with 1:36 remaining. Lintner carries out the left side. Across, poke checked away by Kachuk. Kachuk comes in with Bure, 2-on-1. The shot kicked away by Dunham. Hartnell puts it to the end board. 1:25 remaining. Back around, too far for Hartnell. And the shot thrown wide, short side by Gauthier. On the left wing board, Timonen clears the zone. Hartnell takes out his man. Schatz then kicks it in. Schatz down the right side. Schatz goes behind the net. Timonen on him. Tipped it now. Lindsay trying to come around in front. Poke checked away by Dunham. It's Jeff Schatz now turning from one side to the other. Backhand feet in front. Tipped away by Dunham. Falling down. The shot was taken in front by Lindsay and tipped deep into the Calgary Flames zone as Albeline got there just ahead of Marian Cesar. An icing call will bring the face-off back into the Nashville zone with just under 50 seconds remaining. And now the Advanced Auto Parts play of the game.
And right now the Advanced Auto Parts is Lowry's go-ahead goal, giving the Flames a 2-1 lead, which is held up until now with 50 seconds left in the third period. So Advanced Auto Part, best play of the game, Lowry's go-ahead goal.
Lowry has been captain of the Flames since the veteran defenseman Steve Smith retired when the Predators were in town last time. Smith not able to return this time from neck injuries and a concussion. Face off to Dunham's right side. 49.4 seconds remain. Mark Savard against Greg Johnson. Johnson, the puck tipped in the circle. Iginla holds it, turns downside. Puck pops free to Greg Johnson. A long backhand pass to the left wing. Fed to the Calgary zone. Forcing Kravchuk to backhand away. Dunham to the net with 35 seconds to go. Dunham goes off for the extra attacker. It's Yachmanev in the center circle. Throws it in down the right wing side. Kravchuk behind the Calgary net. Puck Robitaille to the left corner. Yachmanev standing in the slot. The puck is tipped out by Stillman back in the Nashville zone. Yachmanev gets it. 13 seconds remaining. Long pass right side for Walker. Walker directs it now to Johnson, breaking in 6 seconds. Predators have to take a shot. Holder spinning around down low. 1 second to go, and the Flames just do hold on to a 2-1 win here tonight over the Nashville Predators, who had pulled Dunham from the net, got the extra attacker out, but Calgary's goal by Lowry with 1:05 remaining in the second period holds up for the win here tonight. The Flames finishing with 30 shots on net. The Predators with 19, each side getting 6 shots on goal in the third period. So Fred Brathwaite now unbeaten in his last 6 starts, 4 wins and 2 ties, and the Predators' record on this road trip, 1 win and 2 losses, both losses by the score of 2-1. And our Gatorade player of the game tonight, Predators goaltender Mike Dunham, stopping 30 of 28 Calgary shots.
And Mike Dunham doing what he's done so often, Pete. Kept his team in the game, kept the score close, and gave his teammates a chance to win this hockey game. So good choice for player of the game, Mike Dunham.
That's not the new math. He stopped 28 of 30 shots here this evening. For Terry Chris, Pete Weber saying so long from Calgary. Final score, the Calgary Flames 2, the Nashville Predators 1. Catch the Predators Saturday night against the San Jose Sharks at 9:30 Central Time. This is Nashville Predators hockey. Coming up next for you, The Last Word with Jim Rome. You've been watching Predators hockey coverage on Fox Sports Net.